Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. My name is Law Nation. I'm your host today, and we're going to talk about the Dak Prescott contract as well as with Jerry Wayne Jones. But before we talk about the contract, Mama always says, hey, watch after your brothers, look after your brothers. Even the good book says, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, right? So Tad Prescott, the brother of Dak Prescott, he says in a tweet, I am a Dak fan, plain and simple, and where he goes, I will go. And what he was talking about is going back and forth with some of the fans about his brother and his love for his brother and how he want what's right for his brother, right? Tad Prescott goes and say this, guess apparently, if we got to preference that statement, apparently, because we can't go out here saying, hey, Dak Prescott brother is saying Dak Prescott to leave Dallas because this is not a place for him. But he says, with that being said, you seeing how wrong you are. He's going back and forth with a fan. I am now being cussed at because apparently I'm telling Dak Prescott to leave Dallas. This game is always a business, right? I will always look after what's best interest for my brother. And basically, Dak Prescott brother, Tad Prescott, is just being a brother for his brother. Believe it or not, he got his brother back, and he can see that the Joneses or the Cowboys organization, regardless of the situation, is not 1,000% in his corner. And I'm talking about Dak Prescott. He can see that. So there's two ways where we can look at it. We can look at it on one end of it being, okay, Dak Prescott is venting out to his brother. Or on the other end, his brother is seeing the frustrations and speaking out on behalf of his brother. There's two ways that we can look at it. And 9 times out of 10, the brothers know. The brothers always will know, okay, my brother is going through this. My brother is going through that. Now, let's listen to Jerry Jones about Dak Prescott contract.
You talk about Dak. Does he have even more leverage now, Jerry, in these negotiations?
I don't know how you could have any more leverage. But Dak has absolutely been might be a picture postcard, so to speak, but his evolving into an NFL quarterback has been nothing short of a perfect picture. And he has great ability, in my mind, to win games. He's talented. He certainly has experience. And so he has all the things as substantiated by what we've offered Zach. You know, you wouldn't be offering Dak what's been offered him in the past.
So my thing is, he got all of the experience and the talent that what you offered him. Now, I said this many of times, people do what they want to do. People do what they want to do. And when they press Jerry a little bit further onto this situation about Dak Prescott, he's starting to talk about, hey, there's defensive guys that they got to pay. And I said last night on my stream, who did you got to go out there and pay? Is it D-Law again? Is it Jalen Smith again? Because I don't see nobody on this particular side of the coin as it relates to defense that you got to go out there and pay. I think that Randy Gregory's in the futures contract. And you mean to tell me you're going to pay Randy Gregory before you pay Dak Prescott? Who you got to pay? You want to pay Tyrone Crawford again? Who are you trying to pay? Oh, Alden Smith, who only have a half of a cup of coffee here so far? You mean to tell me you're trying to figure out money and to pay him? You see, these type of things is the problem with the Cowboys. And trust me, I have no bone to fight. I have nothing to get out of the situation but to tell you guys the truth. And the reality of it, people do what they want to do. If you think that Jalen Smith is the cornerstone of this defense, this is your team, baby. But that's your words, okay? You said that he's the cornerstone of the defense. Now you guys are talking about getting rid of him. Oh, you say that D-Law is this and D-Law is that, and I'm not trying to talk about D-Law's money, but you're talking about defense down the line. Let's listen to what he had to say so you guys can get what I'm saying.
Very special. And so,
Yes.
The issue is how do you come together, and that's no stranger to me. I've been doing it all my life. I got here putting things together, and we've got to get it together.
Jerry, why is the length of the deal such a big issue? If Dak wants to get back to free agency when the money goes up from TV revenue, or you guys don't want the deal to be as long, why is the length such a holdup with this?
The planning, you guys are well aware that we have a certain amount period that can be paid to players every year. It's a very competitive thing, and it has the longer the term, the more flexibility you've got in any number that you have in a contract. The planning ahead, the looking ahead, what you can spend, what you can give on any other free agent, your overall planning. It's like the amount of time you've got left on your car payments or your house payment or anything else. If you've got 3 years left, you've got one thing. If you've got 15 years left, you usually have less payment.
All right, so I love the analogy, and I love the fact that you're talking about car payment, house payment. The longer the time frame you have, the guess, I guess at this point, the better. You have more flexibility to pay it off. Newsflash, Cowboy Nation, and everybody that's listening. This is not Dak Prescott's first contract, though. Had this been Dak Prescott's first contract, then you can use that analogy. How about this? Extend Dak Prescott's contract, the first one, before it expires. Because what happened here, collectively speaking, you could have had Dak Prescott for 22 to anywhere to 22 to 27 million. But you waited. You let that thing get to the last piece of the expired contract, and then you let this guy play on that expired contract that ultimately elevated his price point, and now is at the 40 million. The stubbornness and the stupidity of how everybody handled the contract from the Dallas Cowboys side of the coin. Because without a shadow of a doubt, I come here to tell you guys, if they were to go ahead and look at the situation and say, okay, we believe, we trust in this guy, then we would have offered him $30 million, even at the time where his market value was at 22. I'm quite sure you get a little backlash. You'll talk about this and talk about that, but you won't have to be overpaying. And now I'm not saying that paying the guy $40 million now is overpaying, because now that is just where his value is rendering. That is what the market is. Case in point, since everybody want to use analogies, let's say you stay in the subdivision, everybody's house is $450,000. Now let's just drop it to $350,000 to $450,000. If somebody in that said subdivision sell their house for $150,000, you're going to have some problems with that person. You're going to be looking at that person saying, oh, wait a minute, that's way below market value. You are hurting the market, collectively speaking, for everybody in this particular area. Now, my thing is, Cowboy Nation, when we look at that, when we say that thing, that is what the mercy of the agent is saying. If I go below, or if I'm under the market, then I might not ever get another client. Based off the stats, based off the games that was won or lost, however you want to look at it, my client is right at this area. You can't shortchange it. You can't spread it out and extend it. That's just the reality of it. So that is why Dak Prescott is saying, hey, Dak Prescott, I love you. You're my brother. Apparently, I'm telling him to leave. But low-key, he probably be saying that. Look, if they really care about you, they would have put the money at your feet.
Jerry, how concerned are you that he just says, okay, you guys can tag me for one more year, and then I'll just be an unrestricted free agent? Why would I not do that if I was Dak Prescott?
Again, guys, let's really don't, because we don't have enough time almost this month to discuss this over the radio, but you just get into the nuances of we've got to fit potential defense in here. We've got to pay defense. We've got to pay additional defense this year. And any dollar that goes there doesn't go toward another player.
Woo! That's all I want to know. I'm like an owl now. Woo! Who we going to pay? Now, he did say potential. So you mean to tell me the Joneses, they are finally going to look at this thing and say, okay, we are now going to spend some money on some defense? Not day 5 or week 3 free agent guys, but day 1 free agent guys. That would be astonishing. That would be outstanding if that happened. I got land on the moon for sale, right? I don't think the Cowboys are going to ever invest in that. Just off the aspect of they don't even want to pay their quarterback. The craziest thing of it all, we will know, or we'll find out. Remember the phases of the actual draft. Before the draft, the first phase is retaining and looking at your own players, your own assets. The second phase will be, okay, the free agency, especially week 1 and especially day 1. Oh, then there's the draft. Then after the draft, there will be a phase where some of the teams let go, some of the veteran guys, some of the people that's disgruntled, who's mad about this and mad about that, they let those guys go. That's the last phase. And that's where we do most of the picking. We pick more so at the final phase, hoping that we can shake something loose and get a diamond in the rough. And that's what been the philosophy for the Cowboys for a minute. Is it a wrong one? Nah. Is it working? Nah. It's not the best way. That's all I'm saying. But my thing is, Cowboy Nation, I think the brother is right, and apparently he's speaking in phrases as it relates to apparently, like he's in his brother's ear and he's being sarcastic, and I think that he's not. But 9 times out of 10, a brother knows. A brother will know if his brother is not feeling up to par about this organization. Now, Dak Prescott got a mind of his own. He got 2 legs, a mind, eyes and ears. He can walk around and do his own deal. I don't think that he's thinking for Dak Prescott. And Prescott got a mind of his own, too. He walk around, see, and hear, taste for himself. You don't need other people to do that for him. So we'll find out what the Jones is going to do down the line, and we'll see whether or not they look at this thing and they view this thing the right way as it relates to Dak Prescott. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute.